A good ground beef recipe is always a winner in my book. And if it's quick and simple, that's even better. Hey friends, my name's Susan and welcome to my home. Today I've got you 4 quick and easy ground beef recipes your family's gonna love and you're gonna love because of how easy they are. So let's get our ponytails up and let's get to making some amazing ground beef recipes. Come on, let's get cooking. And I'm gonna be combining 2 different recipes tonight. Y'all know I love my easy chili. I saw this hillbilly chili recipe where you actually have spaghetti in it. And I'm thinking, ooh, chili spaghetti, that'll work. So I'm gonna try to incorporate the spaghetti portion with tomato juice with my easy chili. I have got 1 pound of hamburger in the Dutch oven here, starting to brown up. I've got 1 can of chili beans. I've got 1 can of diced tomatoes. 1 big jar of tomato juice, which I'm only going to put in about 3 cups. I've got some spaghetti. A packet of chili, McCormick's chili that is. It's the best. Just the regular, don't get the hot. I don't even like the hot, and I love spicy. And I've got some onions cut up. So we're going to go ahead and get this put together and make some hillbilly, easy chili and spaghetti. Yeah, another one of the recipes where you'll need to print out the easy chili and then write on it the little bit of variation I'm doing, because y'all know I do that to almost all my recipes. This is how you come up with awesome things to eat. You make them up. So let's go ahead and get ready to make some hillbilly easy chili spaghetti. And I've gotten all the hamburger pretty much browned up. This is on a 8 or a medium high. I'm going to go ahead and add in half of a chopped up onion. Y'all know how I do it. I'm just going to make about 1 pound of hamburger. Whereas the hillbilly recipe made 2 pounds of hamburger. I'm going to basically half it and go mainly by my easy chili recipe, which uses 1 pound of hamburger. I'm going to go ahead and let this onion saute down a little bit. The hamburger has already sauteed quite a bit, already browned up a little bit. I'm going to let it saute for just a little bit to get it opaque. And then we'll add a few more goodies to the pot. Now the onions are looking quite opaque. The hamburger meat is smelling very delicious. It's time to add everything to the mix, and I am talking everything. The McCormick's chili spice, and this is just the original. You know I don't like the spicy. I like spicy stuff, but the spicy to me does not taste that good. I'm going to add 1 can of diced tomatoes into the mix. I'm going to add 1 can of chili beans. This is medium bushes. I love these beans. To the mix. And I'm going to go ahead and mix this around just a little bit. Don't have my glove on, but I can hold it with the glove. Okay, here we go. Now the last 2 items that are going in are what's going to make this spaghetti good. I'm going to go ahead and add in 2 ounces of spaghetti. This is only half the recipe. And 3 cups of tomato juice, which the spaghetti is going to absorb, and it's going to cook the spaghetti. I'm going to go ahead and push everything down. As you can see, y'all seen me do this before with a couple other things. First time I've done it with the chili spaghetti though, but you know, I love my easy chili, and I can only imagine this is going to be awesome. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on, turn it on about a medium. I'm going to let this boil real quick. And once it starts boiling, I'm going to turn it down to low and let it cook. It says 25 to 30 minutes. I'm going to give it 15 and see about that spaghetti, because y'all know spaghetti don't take that long to cook. We will see. I may be wrong. You know, I'll tell you if I am. But let me go ahead and get this to boiling and turn it down, and I'll bring you back whenever everything is looking amazing. I did add a few more spaghetti noodles to it. So I've probably got about 8 ounces in here. And I did add a little bit more water whenever it was cooking, just because I wanted it to be chili spaghetti, which is what it is. So let's go ahead and get this on a plate because it's smelling mighty good. And this combination was a good one. If you love chili and you love spaghetti, this is your dish. And I'm going to be making some tostadas tonight. I'm going to be using our beef and bean taco skillet recipe to make some tostadas and have a little extra something on top. So I've got some tostadas, I've got some taco seasoning, can of Rotel, you know me, Mexican lime, and cilantro. I've got some pinto beans, some Fiesta Bean cheese, I've got some onion, I've got a little lime juice, ranch, and some lettuce to go on top. Because you know I'm going to make something special. And of course, the star of the show, I've got some hamburger grilling in the pan. So let's get everything together and make a Mexican tostada. That's so good. Let's get it going. And I'm going to wind up putting about 1/4 of an onion in this. I'm going ahead and got the hamburger meat most of the way done. I'm just going to use my scissors and cut the onion up in there. Is it the best way to do it? No, probably not. Is it a way so I don't dirty anything else up? Heck yeah, because I don't want to clean it up either. I'm going to go ahead and put this down and let this and that start melding together, whatever you want to call it, getting friendly. And then I am going to add a few things, and then it won't be long before we're going to have us something good to eat. So let me go ahead and put the top on this. Bring you back in just a minute. And the hamburger has browned up. The onions are now opaque, which look really great. I'm going to go ahead and add in some of just the taco seasoning. Y'all know about as much as a pack of taco seasoning would be. And I'm also going to add in a little bit of water. The way I look at this, about 1/4 of a cup to 1/2 cup of water. It has to get into the meat, and the best way to do that is to put a little water on it. That way it can infuse with the water and infuse the meat at the same time. So this is all on about a medium high. I hope you're enjoying today's video, and if you are, please press that little button down below and subscribe. Don't forget to press that little bell and the all notification. That way you'll get notified each time I put a video up, so you don't miss any of the good food and fun. So I've already got that. I'm going to go ahead and let this heat up just a little bit, and then we're going to add a few things into it. Let's go ahead and get the rest of this going on right now. I have got some pinto beans that I have drained, not rinsed. So they might have a little bit of juice still in them, but that's okay. It'll make it even better. And I have some Rotel that I have not drained or rinsed. It is just straight out of the can, and I'm going to put it into the mix also. This just makes, if you've ever had this, you will understand. It makes the best taco meat you'll ever eat in your life. This combination. I'm going to go ahead and put all this together and stir it around just a little bit and turn it on low and let it all get nice and friendly together, because it is so good, especially when it cooks just a little bit till it all gets melted together. So let me put the lid on and I'll bring you back with something awesome. And I put this on low for about 10 minutes. And it's looking really good. Look at all the juice that's coming off of this. It's nice and juicy. And this just makes for a great taco, or a great whatever you're using it for, which today is going to be a tostada. And I've made this recipe quite a few times before. It's really simple and really easy, and gives you a little bit of something to put on a taco salad or anything else. I'm going to get a little bit of ranch dressing and put it in the container. I don't need much because we ain't got but a little bit. A couple drops of lime juice. A couple squirts, that is. And a little bit of taco seasoning. You don't need a lot, just a little bit. And you basically mix this together until you get it to the flavor that you want it. Which I think that's probably going to be about right for the small amount I'm making this time. And you're just going to mix it together and see, take a taste, see what you need to add. I usually wind up adding a little bit more taco seasoning. That's actually not bad. Could use a little bit more taco seasoning though. Just a little bit. Because I do like it taco-y. But the ranch dressing with the dab of lime makes the best southwestern kind of like salad dressing that you can have. So now this is ready. Let's put our tostadas together. It looks so unassuming like that, but it's about to get very flavorful. I'm going to put some of the taco meat on top and try not to get everything coming off the tostada. You could also put this into a taco shell. There's nothing wrong with that. There we go. Now I brought you in a little bit closer because it is time to get this to another level. I'm going to add a little bit of taco sauce to the top of this, which is nothing major, but just a dab. Give it a little bit of flavor. And then, of course, y'all know we like a little bit of red, which is Cholula, and green, which is green Tabasco, to the top of ours. Now, after that, I'm definitely thinking about some lettuce. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of lettuce on top of this. Give it a nice little salad on top. And then what you want to put on top of the salad? Well, salad dressing, of course. I'm going to sit there and drizzle a little bit of this salad dressing on top. And this is some good stuff, let me tell you. I am going to go ahead and put a little bit of sour cream on top, just because that's the way we roll. And y'all know I'm awful with sour cream. It doesn't look that great. That's okay. It's going to taste good. And a little bit of Mexican cheese on top of that. All the way around. All right. And this was so good. That dressing mix on top just made it amazing. If you haven't tried it, you've got to. This is amazing. Tonight I'm wanting a little dirty rice, some ground beef, but I don't want to do all of everything on this recipe. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and show you how to make a box meal taste like homemade with a few extra little things. Real simple. I've got some New Orleans dirty rice. I've got some minced garlic. I've got my Zatarain's Creole and my Slap Yo Mama. Y'all know I love it. This is 2.5 cups of chicken broth. The recipe called for it. The box did not. I'm going with the recipe on this one. I do have some onions, a little bell pepper, and a little celery that I'm going to be adding into the mix. And of course, I've got the ground beef going in the frying pan. So let me go ahead and get this browned up just a little bit, and I'm going to add in a few things. Now that this is starting to brown really good, I'm going to go ahead and turn this over and add a few of my goodies in. Well, add quite a few of my goodies in, I should say. I'm going to go ahead and add in the onion, the bell pepper, and the celery to the mix. And let them go ahead and be cooking with the meat and letting all their wonderful flavors be coming out. I basically put in about 1/4 of an onion for 1 pound of ground beef. Probably about 1/2 of a bell pepper or even less. I just picked one from the garden. And the celery, 1 small stalk. Didn't need much. And I'm going to let this cook together with the meat and saute down. This is on about a medium high. And I probably need to turn it down just a little bit and let this cook with all the goodness. All right, let's put the lid on this. Turn this on about a medium low and let this simmer and get all of its good flavors melted together. And then I'll show you what comes next. Already poured off most of the grease. The onion and the peppers and celery is now cooked down. I'm going to add in about 3 cloves of garlic is what it's calling for in the recipe, which is what I'm doing. There we go. Make it nice and garlicky. and tastes good. I'm also going to add in a little bit of Slap Your Mama, because y'all know I love that stuff, and a little bit of Zatarain's Creole. Not going to add a ton, but a little bit. I'm also going to add in the 2.5 cups of chicken broth. And then finally, all the items that were in the box. Here is the seasoning packet, which I hope I haven't over-seasoned it, but I don't know. It smells good either way. And then, of course, the box of rice. There we go. And this is what you call doctoring up a box meal. This is how you make it taste homemade when it ain't. But that's okay. I've got a recipe for what I want. I've got a box meal that makes it simple. And we're going to get it together. The next thing we're going to do is basically let this come to a boil. And then reduce it to low and cover it for 25 minutes. How simple is that? And then, of course, I will taste it afterward and check it out. So let me bring you back whenever I get through with the 25 minutes. And about 25 minutes later, this is what it looks like. It is so amazing. I can't wait to taste it. Let's get some in a bowl. And this is what it looks like in a bowl. I'm going to add a little bit of stuff to it, though. And, of course, y'all know I love some sour cream on anything. It is just awesome. And I'm going to put a little bit of Fiesta cheese on it. Even though it is Cajun, a little bit of cheese never did any wrong on anything. There you go. There you go. And this was so good. Danny went back for seconds, if that tells you anything. It was probably one of the best Cajun recipes I've done in a long time. So good. This weekend I had an amazing meal, and I'm going to try to recreate it. It was a cheeseburger quesadilla. I have a recipe that is probably not the recipe that it was, and I am going to try to make it taste like that amazing cheeseburger quesadilla that I had. I've got some onion, a little bit of pepper jack. I've got some steak blend. I was trying to get another steak seasoning, but this is all they had. So I had that. I've got some Fiesta blend cheese. I'm going to make, of course, the sauce to go on it. My ranch, taco seasoning, and lime sauce that I make that is so amazing. I've got some flour tortillas, the big grande version I'm going to be using. And, of course, some hamburger browning in the pan. So let's go ahead and get all of this put together and see if I can recreate that cheeseburger quesadilla from Fat Max food truck that I had. It was so good. And I've got the hamburger already started. I'm going to go ahead and get it crushed up a little bit so it will not be in big gobs and be in smaller gobs, so it'll go into the quesadilla a little bit easier. And then, of course, flip everything over as best I can. That way, both sides will get done. And we have a place at Lake Tillery, and they have food trucks that come in there on a regular basis. And I had this quesadilla burger. It was so good. And I know everybody had been raving about it, so of course I had to taste it. And I'm like, all right, I've got to try to figure out how I can somehow make the same flavor, because it was so good. Y'all know I do smash burgers, all that stuff all the time. This is kind of like it, but it was so juicy and so tender. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of onion in to the mix, because onion just makes everything better. This is a pound of hamburger I've got in here. And this is half of a Vidalia onion that I'm adding in. It's just going to make it taste even better. I also have some Kinder's steak seasoning. I requested Montreal steak seasoning. Apparently Walmart did not have any, and they did not bring me any. So I'm going to do the Kinder's. It does smell very much like the flavor that I got on that quesadilla. And I'm just going to sprinkle some over it. And get this cooking for just a little bit. Let the onions basically cook down till they are opaque and separated. And then we'll be ready to get a few things put together. So let me go ahead and let this cook a little bit, and then I'll bring you back. I'll let this cook for a few minutes. All of the onion is now opaque, and it smells amazing. So let me go ahead and drain all of this fat, get this out of this container, because this is where we're going to be heating up the quesadilla burrito. I put a little bit of butter in the pan. I'm going to go ahead and add the shell or the tortilla in. I am going to go ahead and put on some pepper jack cheese. The quesadilla that I had did have jalapenos on it. I don't have any spicy jalapenos. I've got mild, and they just to me don't taste as good. Go ahead and put that on. I'm going to go ahead and add in some of the hamburger meat that has been drained. But that Montreal seasoning is so good. So I'm going to add quite a bit of it. And as you can see, I'm only doing half the tortilla. I love to do my quesadillas only half. That way you can flip them a lot easier. That looks really good. All right. I am going to add a little bit of Fiesta blend cheese on top. I'm not sure if this is the blend that they did, but I'm trying to get the same flavor profile because it was really, really good. All right. And of course, I'm going to use that sauce blend that I just did. This is so good, guys. I mean, this is not a taco quesadilla. It is a kind of a cheeseburger kind of quesadilla, but it was so good. And this dressing, as you want to call it, just makes it. I can't explain it. It is just amazing. This is getting nice and done. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. And then let this wait just a minute, and then I'll flip the whole thing here in just a second, and you can see kind of how good the bottom has done. It's just easier for me to flip whenever I do half of a quesadilla. It's looking really good right now. I'm going to go ahead and flip it. Hopefully it flips nicely. Ooh, look at that brown shell. That is awesome. That's why I like doing half of one. That way you can do it however you want to do it. And this is going to be awesome. I'm going to wait until the other side gets about the same brownness, which is not going to be long. And then it'll be time to get it off and put it on a plate. The easiest way to cut one of these tortillas is with a pizza cutter. At least that's what I'm thinking. I don't know if you can hear how crunchy that is. It is so crunchy. But that is nothing but absolute goodness. Now let me go ahead and get this dressed up so it looks real pretty. And this was so close to that quesadilla I had this weekend. It was amazing as well. You've got to try it. Didn't you love those recipes? Oh, I hope you were ready to put your ponytails up, because you know you are now if you hadn't already. And if you haven't already, press that little button down below and subscribe. Press the little bell notification and the all. That way you'll be notified each time I put a video up. And don't forget to leave me a comment. And if you see a recipe you like, share it with a friend. That way they can have the fun of making a great recipe also. Until next time, see you then.